이렇게 해야지 들어가.
50만원? 플렉스.
미국에 사는 독거노 총각 오늘 하루는 또 어떻게 버티나 사람 냄새 나는 따뜻한 한 끼로 허기진 내 배를 채운다.
안녕하십니까. 저는 이제 나파밸리로 출발하기 직전입니다. 리프트를 지금 요청을 했는데 요청한 지 한 지금 20분 지났는데 지금 안 오는 것 같아요. 이러다 비행기 놓치는 거 아닌지 모르겠는데 아무튼 출발해 보겠습니다. 이제 리프트 탑승했고요. LAX로 이제 가면 됩니다. 자, 리프트에서 내려서 이제 체크인하러 갑니다. 공항에서 왜 대마초 냄새가 나니? 미치겠네. 저 짐 검사하는데 통과했고요. 이제 게이트를 향해서 가는 중입니다.
Joshua, Oba lawyer.
Thank you. Have a good one. Thank you so much. 무사히 탑승 잘 마쳤고요. 이제 비행기에서 좀 한숨 자고 가려고 합니다. 요 잠깐만. 반갑습니다. 만나서 반갑습니다. 예스.
그냥 나파 쪽으로 갈까?
가자.
그러니까 거기에 인앤아웃 하나 있더라고.
갑시다. 제네시스. Let's go.
오늘 나랑 같이 여행할 친구는 누굴까요? 피카츄! 언제나 슬롯은 짜릿해. 108? 18? 아니로구나. 나랑 여행 같이 할 친구는 닥터 레고로구나. 잘 부탁한다.
잘못 들어왔어. 그러면 되지. 이제 원래 와인이 이제 유럽 쪽에서 와서 이쪽에 이제 올드월드고, 근데 여기 미네륙, 이제 특히 나파 이런 데는 좀 신대륙. 그래서 여기는 원래 트레디셔널리 와인이 유명했던 곳이 아니고 최근에 약간 한 50년 전부터 와인을 재배하기 시작하면서 유명해진 곳인데, 여기 와인들의 또 특색이 있단 말이야. 뉴월드 와인의 특색들이 있는데 오퍼스원은 뉴월드 포도를 가지고 이제 올드월드 맛을 추구하는 와이너리라고 들었어.
미국 여기서 재배했지만 유럽식 어떤 와인의 맛을 지향하는 그런 느낌이라는
약간
거구나.
나파 와인을 가지고 뭐 프랑스 보르도 와인 같은 걸 이제 만들려고 하는 약간 그런 느낌이라고 들었어.
오케이.
오늘 가서 또 뭐라고 하는지 들어보자.
오케이.
거기에서만 구매를 할 수 있는 병들이 있어.
아.
걔네가 따로 이렇게 엄청 소량 생산해가지고 원사이트로만 파는 것들이 보통 있어. 아니면은 회원 가입해야지만, 멤버십 해야지만 할 수 있는.
그치. 자, 첫 번째 목적지 인앤아웃 도착했습니다. 가을, 겨울이 철이라서 여름이나 돼야지 달린 포도를 볼 수 있답니다. 뭐지?
Good afternoon, welcome to Oppeswan Winery. This is Ian speaking. How may I help you?
Hi, I make a reservation for 1:15 p.m. The wine for wine tasting.
Perfect. And what's your last name, please, sir?
Kim. That is correct. However, the main gate is like closed, so just
Yes, we always keep it closed, and I'm opening it for you just right now. So in the next few months, that should be opening just for you.
Thank you so much.
진짜 멋있다. 그리고 또 나파 와인이 캘리포니아 전 와인 생산량의 10%밖에 안 되지만 그 급은 탑 오브 더 탑이라고. 와, 햇빛도 너무 좋고. 와, 여행 오길 잘했다 진짜. 야, 진짜 너무 행복합니다. 저 행복해요. 너무 여행 오길 진짜 잘했어요. 너무 행복하다. 네, 나파 와인 탑 오브 더 탑이라는 나파 와인 한번 먹어볼 생각에 가슴이 두근두근합니다. 우와, 오퍼스원 와이너리. Hello. I made a reservation. Yes, it's for 1:15. Yes.
Over here, I think I just talked to you a few minutes
Yes.
ago, actually. Perfect.
That's
so
correct.
We're going to be sending you in about 10-15 minutes from
10-15
now.
minutes. Yeah. Where should we go?
You can wait just right outside or in the salon, whichever you prefer.
Okay, gotcha.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. 와. 굉장히 고급진 느낌입니다. 그리고 여기가 굉장히 유명한 곳이래요. 맛있는 와인으로. 기대하면서 시음을 해보도록 하겠습니다.
Good, how are we doing? Good, how
Great. How are you?
Great. Where are you guys visiting from?
New
York and LA.
Yeah.
New York and LA. Alright. Been here before?
No, it's my first time.
My first time as well. Yeah.
Very excited.
How about trying the wine? Have you ever tried the wine before?
Yeah, I've tried the wine.
Yeah, so you are familiar with it?
Not really, just
Yeah?
once. Yeah.
Yeah.
And how's the day been so far? Where else have you gone?
This is our first destination. Yeah.
First destination.
Yes.
A few other wineries after this, or just one?
Just one more.
Yeah, just one more. Yeah.
After this, yeah.
Welcome to Oppos One. My name's Daniel. I'll be your host. We're going to enjoy 3 glasses of wine. I'm going to begin you with Oppos One, and we'll taste 2 vintages side by side. Shortly after that, I'll bring out the second wine.
Okay.
Sound good?
Thank you so much.
세잔밖에 안 돼.
This is the Oppos One 2019.
Can I take a video of it?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is our latest release. It's our newest vintage. So for us, every October the 1st, we release our new wine. On that same day, we actually release a library vintage as well for the second time. So that is the Oppos One 2017. So for our current version of Oppos One, we want to age it 3 years before its release, 18 months in French oak barrel, followed by 18 months in bottle. This 2017 we did release 2 years ago. However, this time around we released it in our large format bottles. So those larger formats, because they age quite a bit slower, we want to hang on to them for 2 additional years before releasing them to the public. Our wine is a wine capable of aging 10, 20, 30 plus years. So this is going to give you a good example of what to expect, how our wine will develop over time. But I'm not necessarily going to say it gets better with time, because everyone has different preferences, right? So you may not enjoy a 30-year-old wine where you may love one, right? But what it does certainly do is develop more complexity and more depth in the wine. 2 fantastic growing seasons overall. Here at Oppos One, we are a Cabernet Sauvignon driven wine, but we are also blended with Cabernet Franc, Merlot, Petit Verdot, and Malbec. So essentially, it's that classic French Bordeaux-inspired wine made here in Napa, really just trying to take advantage of that soil and that climate.
Originally founded by Robert Mondavi and Baron Philippe de Rothschild of Chateau Mouton Rothschild. This silhouette here is their faces. They're meant to be facing east and west towards their home. They began discussing the idea in 1970. However, it did take them a good 8 years to reach an agreement. 78 they did reach an agreement. 79 we made our first wine. We started with about 35 acres of land, mostly dedicated to Cabernet Sauvignon and a bit of Cabernet Franc. We now own 170 acres. Again, it's planted. Of those 5 classic Bordeaux varietals, about 80% be dedicated to Cabernet Sauvignon. Really with Opus One, just trying to capture place and time. More importantly, I'd say time. We want to showcase that growing season. Again, we see a lot of great years. It's a big reason why the founders settled here in Napa. 19 and 17 were 2 great examples of that. 17 being the slightly more challenging year because we did encounter some wildfires on the back end. But prior to those fires, it was kind of a similar year to 19, and it was building up to a great year. We got quite lucky as we had 90% of our harvest complete, so we only lost 10% in 2017. When I say lost, nothing was physically burnt or damaged. It was more so affected by the smoke taint. Being on the valley floor, that smoke will settle down eventually and penetrate the skins of the grape. Forms an unfortunate compound you don't want when you're one. 2019 was essentially 17 without the fire. Just a nice, beautiful growing season. So we're incredibly excited about that 19. But I'll let you enjoy these side by side. You said you have tried the wine before, or you have not? Sorry.
Once.
Once?
Yeah.
If you want a refresher, I would actually suggest trying the 19 first, just so you can really see how our wine begins, and then move to the 17. But taste them side by side, take your time. I'm also going to bring out a gift, compliments of our chef. I would suggest trying the wines without the food first, then with the food. But I need to know, does anyone have allergies or dietary restrictions at the table?
I don't have any allergies.
Alright, cheers.
Thank you so much.
These bottles for a couple photos. I'll be right back with the food.
Gotcha. So which one was the 19 and
Sorry, everything is labeled on the coaster.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I apologize.
I have one more question.
Yeah, of course.
How many cases do you make?
The goal is around 25,000 cases, give or take.
Okay, so not that many, but not that few either.
I think it's a fair amount for a wine of quality. You don't see too many quality wines here in the valley making that much. The reason we do so is we want to be globally enjoyed. So we're one of the few wineries that are enjoyed overseas. We've worked very hard at this, where 60% of that production leaves the U.S. Cheers.
Thank you. 향이 좋아? Cheers.
와.
오. 난 와인을 잘 모르는데도 진짜 와 맛있다. 진짜 맛있다.
이것이 400불짜리.
400불짜리. 자, 이게 400불짜리 와인이랍니다. 대박.
A little gift from the chef.
Thank you.
In the ramekins here, you have some herb roasted almonds. We use locally sourced herbs, fennel, rosemary, lavender, salt, coated in a little olive oil, and roasted. In the center, you have a little aged Gouda and thyme shortbread.
Thank you so much. 저랑 제 친구가 마시게 될 이 와인들은 이 와인들이랍니다. 그리고 셰프한테서 온 뭐 선물이라는데 다 주는 거겠죠, 사실? 아닐 수도 있고 아무튼 다과 같은 게 나왔습니다. 자, 마셔보도록 할게요. 먹자. 넌 어떤 거 같아? 맛있어?
나는 19년산이 더 유치한 것 같은데. 다시 한번 마셔볼래?
나는 좀 더 영한 걸 좋아하나 봐.
아 그래?
Both, or are we going one at a time?
I tried both.
You
Yeah.
have
Yeah, both, yeah.
All right. Do you have a preference yet?
I actually like the younger one.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
You both agree?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow, that's quite uncommon.
Oh,
It's
really?
usually a split decision at a table.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's only two of us. So.
Yeah.
This is our second one. This one's an Overture. Have you guys heard of Overture as well?
Oh no.
Yeah, never. All right. So we began making this wine in 1993, whereas Opus One, the first vintage, was made in 1979. Overture, I would say, it's very similar to Opus One. There's probably more similarities than there are differences. It is comprised of the same high quality fruit. The fruit comes from the same vineyard estate. It is made by the same winemaker. The biggest difference between Overture and Opus One is if you look at this label, you'll see that it is missing a vintage, a year. This is what we call a non-vintage or multi-vintage wine. So not only is it blended of multiple varietals, but it's also blended of multiple years, 2, oftentimes 3. This is our current version. We internally refer to it as the 2019 version, as most of the grapes are coming from that harvest, but also from 2018, so a blend of 2 years. Used to be our winemakers' kept secret. We have recently introduced a QR code on the back of the Overture label.
Yeah.
If you scan this will tell you the years and the composition.
Oh.
This is a wine intended to enjoy at a more youthful stage, whereas again Opus One, you can age it for 10, 20, 30 years. It's also a fraction of the price. Same high quality fruit. It's a nice little bonus to it. But same elegance as Opus One, just a little softer, more approachable. A fantastic glass of wine.
Gotcha.
Cheers.
Thank you so much.
Of course, absolutely. I'll leave it for some photos, okay?
Gotcha.
Do you have any questions while I'm here at the moment?
Do you have like pricing on the bottle?
Are you ready to see that?
I mean, like we'll just have it here.
Yeah, I'll bring it in. Just a moment. Also, I'd like to point out behind that, maybe I already said this, but behind that limestone wall, there's a stairway that leads to the terrace. At any point in time, you're welcome to take a glass upstairs and enjoy it, and you can come back and forth if you'd like. Okay?
Gotcha.
All right, sure.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
오버츄어라고 합니다, 이건.
Gentlemen, I have 2 lists here for you. On the top half, we have the by the glass list. So you have tried 90% of this list. The only one you have not tried is the Opus One 2012 vintage. So this will give you a great example of how our wine is expected to age. It was a fantastic year for Napa Valley. We offer it in 2 size pours. You see half glass as well as full glass. Half glass is 2 ounces when I've been pouring. Full glass is double that. Beneath, we have our wine by the bottle list if you'd like to acquire any wine for the cellar at home. All right?
Gotcha. Thank you so much. 자, 이렇게 새 와인을 또 하나 부어줬는데요. 그래서 총 이렇게 3개, 2019, 2017 오버츄어. 그래서 이렇게 3개. 손가락이 못생겼네요. 네, 3개. 그래서 오버츄어를 한번 마셔보도록 하겠습니다. 나 입맛이 싸구려인가 봐. 오버츄어가 맛있네. 이거 훨씬 달아 그리고.
까브레오라고 할 수 없는 게 이것도 존나 비싸.
하긴. 얼마야?
올려.
그러니까
150불.
150불.
2019년은 390.
390.
2017년은 395. 심지어 2017년은 그룹당 한 병밖에 못 사.
그룹당 한 명밖에 못 사?
그룹당이야. 인당도.
인당도 아니고 그룹당 한 명밖에 못 사나? 그 얘기를 들으니까 훨씬 맛있어졌습니다. 치즈는 좋긴 한데 너무 강해 맛이. 이 치즈 크래커는 뽀또 치즈 맛을 한 100배 농축시킨 것 같은 그런 맛이 납니다. 예. 그래서 입안에 있는 와인 마시고 뭐고 그냥 다 사라져요. 아, 맛있다.
자, 와인잔을 들고 테라스로 올라가는 중입니다. 그 호스트 분이 꼭 구경 한번 해보라 해서 가보겠습니다. 야, 우와, 우와, 야, 야, 진짜 대박. 와. 무슨 게임 캐릭터도 아니고 이렇게 들고 다니냐, 그지? 자, 근데 보십시오. 자, 드넓게 펼쳐진 포도밭이 잠깐 보이네, 이 벽에 가려서. 참 호사스러운, 오, 광활한 포도밭이 야, 펼쳐지네요. 저 밑에 포도 그 가공이라고 해야 되나, 발효하는 공장 같은 것도 보이고. 와, 좋습니다. 매우 좋다. 매우 좋다. 자, 저희가 잠깐 테라스 다녀온 사이에 벌레 들어가지 말라고도 그렇고, 맛 때문인지 향 때문인지 모르겠지만 유리 커버를 얹어주셨습니다. 가격이 한 병에 390불. 2012년은 한 병에 520불.
Gentlemen, how was it up there?
It was great.
That's beautiful. Be careful with these watch glasses we placed on top.
Gotcha.
You have any questions for me? Doing okay?
Yeah, all of them are so good.
Yeah, so good.
In different ways. Yeah.
You said you guys liked the 19, right? Or 17?
Yes,
I also like
19.
Oberture.
Yeah,
It's like you said, it's like mostly 2019, right?
Yes, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, we see a lot of that. People that tend to like the Overture. 19 is usually the runner-up, and I think it's for that reason you said it. It's also blended with grapes from 2019. All right, well, just checking in, making sure that everything's okay.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
So like like how this year it's been like so much rain. So is like this year's grapes won't be like that great, right?
It won't be like what grape?
Like that great.
Oh, that grape? No, it's right now rain. It's fine. It's all about timing when it comes to rain. Like you don't want rain a month from now, because the grapes will be budding and flowering, and that's when you don't want it. You don't want rain in the summertime when the grapes are hanging. But right now the vines are essentially dormant, so they're kind of like in hibernation, not doing much. We're just finishing up our winter pruning, so right now we can take all the rain we want, and then we'll store that for later down the road.
Oh,
So
okay.
it doesn't really matter.
Doesn't really matter. I'd say the only thing affecting, it's not a huge problem, but it was affecting us as we weren't able to complete our winter pruning earlier. Ideally, we'd probably like to be finished by now, but that set us back. But that was probably, I would say, the biggest harm.
Oh, okay.
But that doesn't ruin the season, right? It's not going to be a
yeah.
bad year because of that.
Gotcha. Okay.
Then like what about like you said 2017 and 2019 were like great years, right? So like what makes it like a great year?
Ideally here we want nice moderate conditions. We want it to be warm at the right time. We want it we want to get the rain at the right time. So that's really what we're looking at. More challenging seasons can be when you get fires like in 17. Maybe you get some spring frost, or you get some rain during, or hail perhaps even during flowering or budding. It's just depends on what happens that year. Again, for the most part, we like what we get. We certainly see some slightly more challenging years, but I would still say we usually operate on a scale of good to great, with a rare occasion of bad years.
Gotcha.
It's all about, it ends up just coming down to timing and what happens.
And what happens on the bad years? Like, do you just not release anything? Or?
And and then that's the thing. It never happens. You never, like in Europe, for example, you run into bad years. They oftentimes they price their wine based on a bad year and a great year. We're not doing that because 2020 was the first like bad year for Napa Valley. We were still able to get some grapes harvested, and we did get some wine bottled, but 2020 was probably that first bad year we've experienced. So it just really doesn't happen. To me, that's what the definition of a bad year. A year you can't produce it. It really doesn't happen. There's certainly concerns going forward with it getting a little bit warmer and then having the dry land and potentially fires breaking out. But really kind of out of our control, right?
Gotcha.
Just got to work with Mother Nature. So this rain's good.
This rain's good.
This rain's
yeah.
good. Right?
Okay.
Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
아 먹다 보니까 원래 처음에는 2019년이 맛있었거든요. 근데 2017년이 이게 정말 공기가 닿아서 그런지 몰라도 갈수록 달아져요. 달아지고 그 텁텁했던 맛도 많이 사라지고. 어휴, 신기하네요 와인이 진짜.
내 생각에 캐버네 소비뇽은 한 20불 아래인 것들은 마시면은 우엑 이게 와인인가? 약간 이런 느낌. 이게 캐버네 소비뇽이 맞나? 약간 이런 느낌이고, 그럼 이제 한 30불 정도에는 뭐 마트에서 잘 찾으면 이제 산지 뭐 이제 캐버네 소비뇽 나파가 맛있다고 생각하는데 나파 캐버네 소비뇽 30불 정도 되는 걸 마시면은 아 맛있네 하고 마실 수 있는데, 이제 거기서 더 위로 올라가면은 이제 한 5, 60불 이상 되는 와인들은 이제 딱 따라서 향을 맡으면은 아 향이 되게 뭔가 향기롭다라는 느낌이 이제 나기 시작을 해. 근데 거기서 이제 더 올라가서 뭐 100불 넘는 그런 와인들 마시기 시작하면은 향도 맛있고 맛도 맛있는데 끝에 약간 원래는 마시면은 이제 향이 좋고 맛이 괜찮아도 끝에 약간 좀 떫은 맛이 좀 있는데 그게 없어져. 그래서 약간 와인을 딱 마시면은 향 좋고 맛 좋고 끝. 그냥 깔끔하게 끝나는 그런 느낌이 들기 시작을 하고 이제 막 150불 이쯤 가면은 그게 이제 점점 발전해서 진짜 부드럽게 넘어간다. 약간 이런 느낌이 들고
또 섬세한.
그러고 이제 그 위로는 이제 오늘 처음 제대로 마셔봤는데 얘는 이제 한 300~400불대 와인이 가니까 향 좋고 맛 좋고 그런데 그 뭐 150불 이런 데는 이렇게 뭉뚱그려서 아 이게 향이 되게 좋고 맛도 되게 좋은데 약간 무슨 맛인지 잘 모르겠다. 약간 뭐라 그래야 돼? TV로 치면 약간 720p 정도 되는 느낌인데 이제 300~400불 와인을 마시니까 그 맛이 해상도가 약간 4K로 넘어간 그런 느낌? 아 이게 맛이 되게 선명하다. 그런 느낌이 났어.
아 비유 진짜 찰지다. 대박. 아 너무 감사합니다. 너무 감사합니다.
그리고 마트에서 와인 고를 때 이제 뭐 선물용이다 아니면 약간 뭐 누구 집에 찾아간다 할 때 잘 모르겠으면은 그냥 나파에서 나온 캐버네 소비뇽 아니면은 샤르도네이, 화이트 와인 원하면 샤르도네이, 레드 와인 원하면 캐버네 소비뇽, 나파에서 나온 거. 그러면은 그냥 웬만한 거 골라도 실패하기 힘들다. 그냥 이 지방이 그냥 그 포도가 너무 잘 자라서 이거 뭐 그냥 뭐 발로 섞어도 내 생각에 그냥 맛있을 것 같아. 그냥 그래 약간. 그러고 이제 뭐 가격대는 한 뭐 대충 한 30불, 뭐 25불에서 뭐 35불 사이 정도로 골라도 굉장히 맛있게 잘 마실 수 있고. 그러고 이제 소노마 쪽에 이제 피노누아르가 진짜 맛있는데 거기는 뭐 조금 더 약간 고르긴 해야 되는데 거기도 뭐 대충 가격대 한 30불 정도 되면은 30불 정도 되는 소노마 아니면 이제 러시안 리버밸리라고도 하는데 그쪽 피노누아르는 진짜 맛있다.
오케이. 또 꿀팁 감사합니다. 잘 따르도록 하겠습니다.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
첫 번째 목적지였던 오퍼스원 와이너리 그래서 와인테이스팅 마쳤고요. 원래는 세 잔 다 마실 생각 없었는데 친구가 이렇게 좋은 와인을 남기고 가는 거는 거의 죄라면서 꼭 먹으라 그래가지고 지금 다 먹고 두 번째 와이너리 V 사토이로 향합니다. 이거는 아는 친한 형이 이제 소개시켜준 곳인데요. 그래서 V 사토이가 무슨 메를로라고 하는 포도 품종인지 모르겠는데 그걸로 만든 와인이 되게 맛있다고 하더라고요. 그래서 오늘 가서 한번 거기서도 마시고 그 다음에 이제 숙소로 이동할 겁니다. 근데 여기서 너무 좋은 시간 보내가지고 너무 이쁘고 사람들도 다 행복해 보이죠. 제 친구는 또 와인을 아는 저기 형이랑 본인 것까지 몇 병 주문했습니다. 그렇게 맛있는 와인인가 봐요. 제가 와인 알못이라서 아무튼 자, 그러면 다음 목적지로 가보도록 하겠습니다. 안녕 오퍼스원.
날마다 우리게 일용할 양식을 주시는 은혜로 우신 하나님 아버지 참으로 감사합니다.